All right, we're going to start the timer. We're going to give it 25 minutes to solve this problem, and we're going to try and solve a medium LeetCode question for the LeetCode 75. So we're going to do reverse words in a string for medium. So we're going to start the timer, and we're going to begin. So we have reverse words in a string. So given an input string S, reverse the order of the words. So a word is defined as a sequence of non-space characters. The words defined in a sequence of non-space characters. The words in an S will be separated by at least one space. Return a string of the words in reverse order, concatenated by a single space. Note that the S may contain leading or trailing space or multiple spaces between the two words. The return string should only have a single space separating the words. Do not include any extra space. So here, for example, we have a string with all the words with one space. So the sky is blue, and then the output reverses the order that it was input, and we get blue is sky. Blue is sky the, right? The sky is blue. Blue is sky the. And the same thing goes here, but one thing you noticed is that we have two extra space in the beginning and the end. So it gets rid of that, and then it reverses that. Contain leading or trailing spaces. So those are removed, and we reverse the order. Then we have the third example. We have trailing space. In the middle of it, gets rid of it, and again, just reverses it. So you need to reduce the spaces between two words and a single space in the reverse string. Okay. And then the constraints we have, it has to be at least one. And it just has a very long, potential lengthy string. And then contains English letters, uppercase, lowercase, digits, and spaces. And there's at least one space word in S. Okay. So we have the condition. So what should we do first? So first, I think we'd have to take in the input S that we get, the string, and we need to first remove. We have to do strip, and we need to strip the what is it called? Leading or trailing spaces. That's the first thing we need to do. Once we have it cleaned up a bit, we can then, I think, split the whole array. Split the whole string into an array. And then once we split that, then we can just iterate in reverse order and to create the new array that is going backwards. So for example, we would first strip away any extra potential leading or trailing space. Then we're going to do split this into parse this using the space, because once we have the trailing and leading spaces removed, now we only have one space in between every single word. So that will be the condition that we leave it to space this whole string with. So once it have that, then we'll have an array where we'll have first word, second word, third, and fourth. Third word, and so forth. So once we have that array, now let me see. How should we go about this? I think we could do a while loop. We could do basically first create a variable n is going to equal to the length of the new array that we're going to be creating with this string that we have. Once we have that number, n is going to equal to the number of words in the array that we parsed, that we split. And then we're going to do a while loop. While the n is greater than 0, we're going to we're going to create a new string that is going to append the word into it. And we're going to be iterating in backwards, right? So let's just start coding so we can see this. So first, I think we need to do clean string, let's call it, something like that. Or let's just say cleaned equals s dot it's not split. I'm trying to remember what the command was. What the command was for that. It's not split. It's strip, I believe, right? And let me just see what happens when I do this. Print cleaned. So if I run that on the one is the second input example, and it did that, right? And if I didn't do that, if I didn't output that, you just say output string, then you'll see it gives us the extra space. So yeah. So now that we have it cleaned, now we're going to split it. So we're gonna do s array. Let's call it words. Or we'll call it reverse equals clean dot split. And I think if I don't do that, if I don't put an input, it'll automatically assume what's already splitting these, and I think it should be the space. So just to make sure, we're going to then do let's just print out for us what it needs. Oops. Print reverse. Okay, there we go. So it already knows to split it. And it's coming out clean as well, right? So there, we now have that. Now that we have this, we're going to say n equals the length of reverse, the one we're going to try to reverse. And we could just tell it to print n, and we could double check and see if it's correct, right? So we have 4, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, so it's 3. Perfect, right? Now that we have the number of times we need to iterate, we're going to go backwards. So like, for example, if I wanted to go in reverse order of the array, all I have to do is just give, like, for example, reverse. Like, if I know, for example, this one has 3 indexes, right? It's starting in 0, 1, 2, with the length of 3. We can then take n minus 1, which will be reverse n minus 1. And we're just going to print that word out. So, like, let's just do print. And blue, we do get the last word. And what we would do then is to iterate this and keep decreasing the n number, the total number of values in the array. So when it's at 0, well, for this case, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So n is equal to 4 minus 1, which is 3. So it's going to go to index 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, and it returns 3. Now, if we wanted to return or add the next word, we just need to reduce n by 1. So that's what we're going to do. So to show you, we're going to do while n is less than, sorry, not less than, is greater than 0, then we will create, we also need to create the string that we're going to return in the end. So we're going to say reversed string. Okay. And what we're going to do is keep appending to it. So we're going to do reverse. And the index we want is n minus 1. And we're going to do reverse. Well, we want to extract that index, right? And we're going to append it. So we need to do, let's just call it word equals that. And then we're going to do reversed str. dot append word, right? And after it does that, now we just need to reduce n. So n minus equals 1. So we're decrementing it. And then at the end of this, and another thing we need to do is we need to give a space as well. So it needs to be that plus space. So once we have that, we should be able to return the reverse string. So after that, let's see, return reversed str. Ooh, we didn't do well. So what happened? Append. So string object has no attribute append. And oh right, we can't append like this thing. Let me just see something. Has no append. Has no append. What we could do then is just plus equals. Plus equals word. Plus space. Did you mean reverse string? Did I do reverse? Reverse said? Oh, and wait, reverse. Hold on. Did I misspell this or something? Ah, there we go. Okay. So what happened here? So there was the tail at the end of the space at the end of it, right? So we're almost there. It looks like we forgot that we need to get rid of that end space at the end. So we don't want to add a space at the end, right? So here's what we could do. We could just do this. And then what we could do is leave a condition. So if n is, let's say, if it's equal to 0, if n is not less than is greater than, no, if n is greater than 1, then reversed str should also get a space. Let's see how that looks. And there we go. And submit. There we go. So we've got our algorithm. And what is our time in this so far? So 13 minutes. It's not too bad. It would give us the time to work on another one. But let's go see what the solutions are for what other people got. So split on the space, reverse, return, space, dot join, reverse. Ah, so they could do it in this way. I see. Okay. Well, that's something we can do. I mean, if we were to think about reverse dot split, like a function, I didn't think that we would want to use it in a way where you just use a pre-built one, but instead want to think through the steps in this. Then I would have, like, if it wouldn't matter to think through this, then I would have thought about using a pre-built function. But when I'm thinking about these problems, someone would want to see how you think through the process and through the problem. But hopefully that gives you an idea about how I would think through this problem. And then there's also your solution of just know that there's a already pre-built function that will allow you to reverse the order of this thing. And let me actually test. I'm not going to actually submit that one. But okay, we've got that one done.